Good morning and welcome to ARC TV, where we meet every Tuesday morning to go through the state of supply chain and the public health sector in West Africa. Today is a very special show because we are welcoming the 2018 MSD Fellows who spent 3 months with us, going through our work and supporting also our clients. As we often do it before they leave town, we spend some time with them to go to their time here. Today we are delighted to welcome to the show Bridget, Brady. Bridget, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome. So Bridget, if you could just introduce yourself briefly, what would it be? Give us an introduction.
Sure, that I am from our MSD site at West Point, Pennsylvania, where I have been in quality and I support the external manufacturing area.
Now, I was told that your fellowship program is extremely competitive. So if you could just tell me.
It is competitive.
What was your motivation like to join the program?
Sure. So this is not the first time I've applied for the program. It's not the second time, and it's probably not the third. So I was very excited to be selected to participate this year. Having applied several years in a row, it's something that's been on my agenda for a while because it's such a great, unique opportunity to volunteer in a unique space for a dedicated 3 months.
We are so glad you applied so many times. We're so glad you could get selected and being here. Now, I'm almost tempted to say that before you came in, you had some expectation about coming to the coming to West Africa. What were those expectations?
Sure. Everyone had said, make sure you keep an open mind, just in the fellowship in general. Keep an open mind, Bridget. And it was really great because in our early calls with Fatima Helena, they had said, you have your scope of work, but also we ask for your flexibility in advance. So it was almost coming into like, okay, well, I have maybe a little bit of an idea, but we know that there's going to be flexibility, so what is it going to entail?
Absolutely. So flexibility was really the key word before you came in. Now, you've been here for 3 months, lots of great achievement. If you could share with us some of this achievement, what would it be?
I think the achievement that I'll focus on right now will be a lot of time was spent with the DPM, and the director asked us if we could make sure that we would focus on all 6 divisions, if possible, to make sure we touched with at least something with every division. And we did accomplish that in a short amount of time, which is great.
Well, I know you're proud of all of your achievements. If you could just name one that you're extremely proud of, what would it be?
I'll say it's in draft, but I hope it's approved before I fly out on the plane in 2 days.
Make sure it gets approved before you leave town.
But we have our procedure, which is up for approval with the director. So I am hoping for his signature.
DPM?
Yes, DPM.
We'll make sure that it gets signed before you leave town. That will be a big achievement, isn't it?
It will, yeah.
And why is that achievement extremely important to you? You're so proud of that.
It's so important because from seeing from our previous fellows, the importance that new items are approved before you leave, because otherwise some of that momentum and the competing priorities can get in the way.
Right.
And I don't want that to happen because especially with the procedure of procedures, it's a foundation for all your procedures and your quality management system.
Right.
So it's such an important procedure, and there's been so much work that's been put into it by Dr. Aminata that I would really love for her to have this success before we leave.
Now, one of the concerns that I always hear from ARC about the fellowship program is making sure the momentum is kept after you leave town. So if you could just lay out a few challenges or few avenues, if it may require further exploration after you leave so that your momentum is kept, what would it be?
Right, yeah. So, I mean, a good example is this procedure. So, everyone has competing priorities even in these next couple of days, so it may not be signed before we leave. It's already been reviewed, it's up for approval, but it has that last review to happen. So what's great is the ownership really is with the DPM staff for a lot of the items that are still pending or going on to that next step. And they are internally driven and motivated. So I know Dr. Aminata will see I've already told her I will be crying on the plane. So I know she will. I know she will tell me if it doesn't get approved till next week. I expect that email. So I know it's going to happen. I just hope it happens while I'm still here. But if it happens next week, that's still a victory.
We'll make sure you cry in the plane, but a cry of joy, not a cry of sadness. Now, I'm almost tempted to say that your time here in Senegal was not just about work. You almost had some fun as well.
Sure.
So what was the fun part of your stay here?
I really enjoyed getting to experience the local culture and how warm and welcoming the whole community is. It definitely, I feel, you feel quickly at ease. There's amazing hospitality, which I haven't had in the other places that I've traveled before. And I thought that's a very great, uniat aspect to the culture.
That's a legendary Senegalese hospitality. We call it here Teranga, actually.
Teranga.
Which is something very important. But you travel outside of Dakar, isn't it? What did you see outside of Dakar?
Sure. I never knew about the bird watching in Senegal. So amazing, beautiful nature. So I joined Eric for the Saloum Delta trip, and that was a really great experience. Especially, sure, it's the off season, but there still was a lot of beautiful, natural wildlife to observe and enjoy.
All right. Now going forward, I'm sure there are other potential fellows that are coming in. If you were to recommend and tell them something good about this program, what would you tell them?
I would tell them about how engaging the staff is. Not only the staff at ARC that we've worked with, but also the staff that we've worked with at PNA and DPM, because I was lucky I had the opportunity to spend time at both places, and it's amazing the motivation, especially for DPM's lean staff, that they're so motivated and engaged. And I think, actually I don't think, right, we know that, like you said before, the success is really in the ownership after the fellows leave, so you really need that core staff to be engaged in order to carry it forward when you leave. Otherwise, it's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Bridget, it was good to have you on the show.
Likewise.
Oh, we hope to
Thank
see you
for
back
hosting
anytime.
me.
Come and see us anytime you come to Dakar, okay?
Definitely.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our show on ARC TV, where we meet every Tuesday morning to go through the state of supply chain in the public health sector in West Africa. Today, we're delighted to have one of the fellows, Bridget Brady. Bridget has been here for 3 months doing some wonderful work. Now remember, ARC TV is all about making a difference, and supply chain is beyond just technicity and technicalities, because ultimately we want to make sure that medical products are available at the last mile to people in the village, in the city, everywhere, because healthy people means a healthy country, and a healthy country is a developed country. So therefore, supply chain, it's extremely important. Until next week, same place, same time, I say goodbye and see you next week. Bye-bye.